Halftime Show.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's episode 2 of the Halftime Show. My name is Jesse Versteris.
Tim.
Tim, what's your last name, Tim?
Soper.
You can follow me at Versteris on Twitter.
TSoper63.
Yeah. We have a bunch to get into. First of all, we want to apologize not having a show last week. Tim had a bunch of stuff going on for school, so we didn't really have any time to get a show together.
Basically, I was gone Tuesday. He was gone Thursday.
Yeah. So, we apologize for that. But we
Stop leaning on the table.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. But we have a ton to talk about. And really quickly, let's just get right into it. I know the table is wobbly.
Here, let's fix it real quick.
It's not really fixing it.
There it is.
That thing. It's all right.
better.
I'll be cleaning like this anyways.
Okay. Now we're back.
Alright. So we have a ton to talk about, and just really quickly, let's go ahead and talk about the World Series. It's almost over.
2 more games.
Your prediction did not come true, sir.
It did not. I predicted Cubs in 5. But I don't think the Cubs are necessarily out of it right now.
I don't think they are quite either, but basically we record this on Tuesday, and so the Indians have a chance to wrap it all up tonight. I have a feeling they're going to.
I think Cubs are going to win Game 6. Game 7 I have as a toss-up.
Oh. All right, well, you heard it here first. Tim's hot take for the week. I don't know. I was listening to a podcast that I listen to called The Co Show, and they talk sports, and they were talking about how it's almost better storyline-wise for the Cubs to lose this season because they have a young team. Like, they're going to be back next year. And so,
Well, how about them coming back from 3-1 to win it in 7?
they could too. But
They have Arrieta going tonight, who reigning Cy Young winner. And then Kyle Hendricks, Game 7 against Corey Kluber. That's 2 Cy Young candidates. So
it's true. But I don't know. I think that even though the Cubs won Game 5, I still believe that the momentum is going to be with the Indians, especially going into Cleveland.
see, that's where I disagree. Cubs are going to get Kyle Schwarber back in the lineup. So there you go.
So we obviously have vastly different opinions on that.
Yeah.
There's really not much to talk about with the World Series, but it was a kind of a crazy week in the NFL, man.
Was.
Let's go ahead and talk about that game last night. What happened?
Minnesota cannot block. They can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They could have, I don't even know. They can't block. Like Sam Bradford, no matter how bad or good he is or how many running backs you have, even if we had AP at this point, if we can't block, we can't block.
Yeah. I don't want to rub it in because I know you're a Vikings fan, but I called it when they were like 4-0 and 5-0. The team was overrated. Like they're good. The Vikings are still good, but they're not an elite level team.
I wasn't even buying into that hype.
Yeah.
Their defense is.
Their defense is good, but
their defense is great.
It was a matter of time. I'm not calling the Bears good at all because they're not. They're a garbage fire. Hopefully they can get rid of Cutler at the end of the season, even though they're going to owe him a ton of money if they trade him away.
And I'll give him this. Cutler played good last night. He did play good.
But
it was a perfect storm last night.
The entire Bears season could be wrapped up in that one play where Cutler threw probably the most accurate pass of his entire career.
Hit Alshon Jeffrey right in the back of the head.
And Alshon Jeffrey didn't even see the ball. Just right in the back of the head. And here's a clip of it right here.
They deliver surprises with the pass rush.
Yeah.
Stumbled a bit and the ball hits Alshon Jeffrey in the back of the head.
Don't forget to put that in, by the way.
Oh, I won't. It was that's the Bears for you. But, I mean, we had a ton of It's been a crazy just year in general. We have 2 ties in 2 weeks.
By the way, back to World Series. Last time there was 2 ties in an NFL season. The Indians lost in 7 games in the World Series.
It's not happening.
Just saying.
Two ties in 2 weeks. Did you watch that game last week?
I did. I was at Woody's here in town and watched it. And kickers have a problem this year.
Yeah.
Kickers can't kick.
I mean, you have one job, you know. Really, like, that's another story that we could talk about. There's so much to talk about with the NFL this season. And, I mean, we could talk about Josh Brown if we wanted to.
Yeah, let's
and
not,
it's just,
though.
but we're not going to. Just the
You know,
dude's a piece of garbage.
it's just so crazy. Like, I had trouble putting together my top 5 this week.
Yeah.
Should we transition into that?
Well, let's go over some scores real quick, and then we'll jump into our top 5s. Real quick, like Thursday night football last week, you had the Titans over the Jaguars, and then right away, London game. Of all things, it had to be the London game. Redskins and Bengals, 27-27.
All those London fans are like, hey, where's the penalty kicks?
Yeah.
Soccer joke.
You had Chiefs over the Colts. Chiefs are the AFC West is wide open this year. You have the Chiefs, and then you have the Raiders, who the Buccaneers took them into overtime, and the Raiders set a new NFL record for most penalties in one game at 23 penalties.
And they overcame it.
Dude, that overtime game was nuts, though. I watched it after the Jets game, and my goodness. You had the Saints over the Seahawks. Really, like, the story of this season is there's teams that shouldn't be beating other teams.
It's very wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you have the Lions at 4-4 this year. The Texans are leading their division at 5-3.
And the Vikings killed them.
Yeah, and so you had the Texans over the Lions. The Jets come back. I hate to be a Jets fan this season.
And see, that's why you're just like, I can't give Tim crap about the Vikings because the Jets barely beat the Browns.
Yeah, the Jets down 20-7 at halftime to the 0-7 at the time Cleveland Browns.
I almost called that, by the way.
Yeah, and then we came back and we put up 24 unanswered points to beat the Browns, 31-28. Patriots all over the Bills. Really quickly, did you see the highlight from the Patriots game?
I didn't see the video. I saw news stories of it.
Yes. So, if you don't know what happened, Bills fans are the greatest, by the way.
It depends on your version of greatest.
They're just so... They don't give a single solitary F. And so one Bills fan decided to take it upon himself to throw a female adult toy onto the field during a play. And the picture of it afterwards, I'm not going to show the picture, but it said Brady's toy. And yeah, so that sums up Bills fans.
And then the score sums up the Bills.
Yeah.
Although the Bills aren't that bad this year.
Who I had in my top 5 2 weeks ago when we did our debut episode. They've now dropped 2 straight. The Patriots beat them 41-25. Panthers over the Cardinals 30-20. Broncos over the Chargers 27-19. Falcons over the Packers 33-32. Cowboys 29-23 over the very good Eagles. And then the Bears over the Vikings. My goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and transition back into those top 5 NFL teams. I'm going to have you start this week.
Are we going to trade it? Just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go 5 through 1.
At number 5 this week, I have the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
Who actually have recovered well after their 2 losses. They've looked pretty decent the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, and they're actually in the lead through tiebreakers right now in the AFC West.
See, I've seen that the Raiders have the tiebreaker.
It depends on tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have Broncos at number 5.
And I actually have the Raiders at number 5.
Okay.
The Raiders, they're a super young team finally coming into their own. They're finally hitting their stride, and You give them 1 or 2 more years, that's going to be an elite team. That could be Super Bowl contenders. So for me, number 4, I actually have the Denver Broncos.
I have the Raiders number 4.
Yeah, and it's for the same reasons you said. Their defense is just still top notch. I mean, obviously their quarterback situation is still suspect, but I mean they still have all the tools there to make a deep run in the playoffs this year, and I mean it's showing. So you had the Raiders number 4?
Yep, I had Raiders number 4. Basically everything you said. Young team, lots of talent finally coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I'll call it. I called this beginning of the season. Actually, I have a bet with someone that the Raiders would win the division.
Oh.
So
who do you have at number 3?
I had the Falcons, Atlanta Falcons.
Really?
Because they have some impressive wins this year. They've defeated Broncos very well. They beat the Packers earlier this year too.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that Seahawks game, there was a really bad call at the end of that game.
Yeah.
But that was another case of someone beating someone they shouldn't have. But yeah, I think the Falcons are going to come out of that NFC South and really, I think they're the second best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah. I actually have the Seahawks number 3. And I'm kind of seeing a trend right now. Like, I mean, we have the 2 AFC West teams at 4 and 5. And then really, I have the Seahawks, but the same reasons like you just said about the Falcons. And really to sum it up, like they're a really good football team, but they're losing games that they shouldn't lose. And but they're still an elite team. Now the difference between the Seahawks and Falcons is that the Seahawks have, capitalized on their depth on their team, whereas the Falcons struggled last year. Like they started out of the gate last year, like what, they went like 6-1,
5-0.
Yeah, 5-0, and then they just kind of sputtered off. But I mean, the Falcons do have a shot to make a deep run into the playoffs this year if they can keep it together. And it's the same with the Seahawks. I mean, the only reason I have the Seahawks number 3 over the Falcons is because, the Seahawks have proved themselves.
See, it's interesting you have them up there after they lost to the Saints.
Yeah. It's just, it's something. So my number 2 is Dallas Cowboys. And I've kind of been a bandwagoner for the Cowboys this season, and it sucks.
I don't mind them either this year. Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Really good. I have them number 2 as well.
Yeah. By far the best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what Jerry Jones does.
Oh, it's Dak's. It's Dak's team.
Yeah, it has to be Dak's team. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. And I'm assuming your number 1 is the Patriots?
No, actually it is.
Yeah. There's...
The look on your face.
I hate to give the Patriots any credit as a Jets fan.
Here's been my argument for Patriots number 1 all year.
All right.
If you had to put money on someone to win the Super Bowl someone to win the Super Bowl this year, you had to put money on it, who would you pick?
Patriots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just can't go against them.
If it stays the way it is and we see like a Patriots-Cowboys Super Bowl, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Yes, but Patriots will still win.
Yeah. I still think that if it's going to be the Dak and Elliott show in Dallas, you get, like, they'll be back next year and they're going to do amazing next year. They could definitely win the Super Bowl. I don't know why I keep going to my mouse. My mouse is dead. So I mean, there's ours. But, I mean, let's look at the top 5 for ESPN right now.
I'll say this about the Patriots while you're loading that.
Okay.
The only thing that'll knock the Patriots out of the playoffs, what I see, is a healthy Big Ben and the Steelers.
See, I don't even think that'll happen.
But I think that's the only chance.
I could see Denver's defense stifling Tom Brady.
I don't think so.
And I could possibly see the ultimate upset with, like, the Raiders.
Maybe.
Even the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs are still in that conversation, too.
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't terrible this year,
No.
but I think they're still the 3rd best team, honestly.
Yeah, so
maybe
this is-
second on the Broncos.
So this is what ESPN has coming out.
Have they already
of-
released them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe they have. No,
See,
they haven't. I lied.
Go to wait. Yeah, that's.
That's last week's.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Go to
never mind.
NFL Network
Yeah, let's...
or NFL.com.
yeah, make sure that it's not... Just keep talking.
So yeah, definitely this week threw a lot of power rankings into craziness. I'm going to look up some on myself,
I got
too.
it.
You got NFLs?
Yep. All right. So this is the top 5 from NFL.com. Number 5, we have the Falcons at 5-3. Number 4, there's the Chiefs.
Really?
Yep, 5-2. Number 3 is the Broncos at 6-2. And the top 2 is just like ours. Cowboys number 2, Patriots number 1. It's interesting to see. They still have the Raiders down at number 9.
Read the. Oh gosh.
The Patriots?
Read the Oakland one. Just the first sentence.
Started to type this Raiders blurb, but got off to a false start. Only Oakland could outgain its opponents 626 to 270. 626 to 270. It needs 74 minutes to win the game. It's true. They committed way too many
There
penalties.
was a lot of penalties.
There was.
23 accepted penalties.
Yeah. It was not good. But, I mean, they're still an exciting team. Like, I was on the edge of my seat that entire game. Or that entire overtime. Yeah. I forgot to bring up the NCAA tab. Cut this out.
Okay. I'm going to look at some other rankings, just curious. CBS Sports, let's see what they got. Exact same as the...
Is it?
Except Raiders are at 6, Vikings at 7, Seahawks at 8, Green Bay at 9, Eagles at 10.
Ooh. All right.
Maybe we're not giving the Chiefs enough credit.
Yup.
Maybe.
All right. So, moving on to college football then. Just a lot of the same stuff, really, over the weekend. It was week 9, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring up some of those scores. Man, I mean, obviously the top 4 stayed the same. You have Alabama number 1, Michigan number 2, Clemson number 3, Washington number 4. I really see no stopping these guys, like any of them at this point.
First college football playoff rankings come out tonight. Tuesday.
So we'll be talking about that next week. But it's like, out of the...
We could give our top 6 prediction right now too.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to ask you the question: do we keep it as a 4-man, or a 4-team, or do you move it up to an 8-team?
Oh, you're saying future.
Yeah.
I say there's no perfect system. Because the minutes, like right now, the top 4, 5th and 6th place feel ripped off.
Yeah.
Move it to an 8-team, 9th and 10th place feel ripped off.
Yeah.
You need a perfect system where each conference champion gets in, and a few at-large bids. But how do you determine the at-larges?
Right.
It's
well,
so tough.
I mean, usually like top 25, there's only a couple non-power conference teams that are in the top 25, anyways.
So I don't know. The perfect system right now is basketball, where they just throw in 68 teams.
Yeah,
But you cannot do that in football. You just can't.
No.
It's way too physical of a sport.
So
I think what they have is good. I don't know if there's a perfect system.
Yeah, no. All right, so, I mean, you have Alabama, Michigan, Clemson, Washington. Then you have Louisville, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Wisconsin and Nebraska, and Florida, all on the outside looking in.
So who is your top 6 by the end of the season?
My top 6 right now is really what everybody's top 6 is. Alabama, Michigan, Clemson, Washington, Ohio State, and Louisville. I mean, that's it. None of those other teams, besides Louisville and Ohio State, maybe Wisconsin, could stand up to like Alabama or Michigan or Clemson.
Those
or
two,
Washington.
I think those 2 losses to Michigan and Ohio State are tough for Wisconsin to come over.
And they're not going to overcome that at
So
all.
I think those top 6 are going to stay, and I think the top 4 is going to stay the same when the rankings release.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean, we've already talked about it a couple weeks ago with our picks for the college football playoffs.
But Penn State has beaten Ohio State since last time we talked.
Yes.
So how do you see that game in Columbus going down now?
Between
Michigan and Ohio State.
Still see it the same.
You see Michigan?
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is, if Ohio State wins that and Penn State wins out,
But I mean,
that throws the Big Ten East into a crazy three-way tie. Michigan beat Penn State beat Ohio State beat Michigan.
yeah,
You could see Penn State in that Big Ten championship game.
which would devalue our shot at the top.
And then
four.
I say Louisville gets. Do you give Louisville that spot, a second ACC team?
Well, no, because they're in the same division as Clemson. So it's like, at this point, it's like who's facing Virginia Tech, I think it is on the other side of the ACC.
It'd be Clemson.
Yeah. So it's like, either way, like Louisville, I don't see Louisville making
I
the
think
top
if
four.
Ohio State beats Michigan, it creates chaos for that
Yes.
fourth spot.
And really, like, the way that the Big Ten is historically anyways, I could see Ohio State just beating Michigan anyways and just creating that turmoil.
So I have a question:
Okay.
Is Big Ten kind of down this year because no one can really separate themselves,
No.
or are we so good that we're beating up on ourselves?
It's the story every year. Like, we're, like, the Big Ten is the Big Ten. Really.
Hold up.
Oh,
Okay.
I had a mic issue right there. The Big Ten is the Big Ten. You know, we are unlike any other conference in college football. I mean, like, we'll put in a 1-loss or a 2-loss team into the playoffs, and we'll still be competitive. It's just that's
Except
how good-
last year when Michigan State got creamed by Alabama.
Yes.
Anyway,
But yeah, it's just, yeah. We're still a power conference. It's just our records never look that great because we're too busy beating the crap out of each other.
holy crap, that's a huge spider.
Yeah, I've been staring at him for like 10 minutes now.
Sorry.
It's all good. So I mean, there's not really much else to talk about with NCAA.
Yeah,
either.
we just talked about it. So.
Yeah. So
Moving on.
What we were gonna talk about before we ran out of time last week, or not last week, a couple weeks ago. 205 is coming up here in a couple weeks.
UFC.
We're gonna make our
Cut.
our predictions.
Yep. You try to fit in projections and predictions.
Yeah.
For projections.
Predictions.
Words.
That's going to be the name of our segment that's coming up here next.
Projections.
Yes, the weekly predictions. Anyways, so we'll start with we'll go with the top 3 prelims and then the main card. So first off, you have Rashad Evans versus Tim Kennedy.
I'll go with Rashad Evans.
Yeah, this is Rashad Evans' debut at 185.
I think it'll be good.
It should be. I mean, like, he was always like a little chunky bunny at 205. So, I mean, obviously he can, lose the weight needed to get down to 185. It's just going to be like, how good was that first initial weight cut?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, it's Tim Kennedy. Like, Tim Kennedy is like middle of the pack, kind of middleweight fighter. So it'll be a good test for Rashad Evans. But yeah, I see Evans. Khabib versus Michael Johnson.
Khabib.
Khabib easily. Khabib will get that next lightweight title shot. He has to at this point. You cannot deny the kid any further. Frankie Edgar versus Jeremy Stevens.
Man, that's a tough one.
It is.
I'll go with Edgar, Frankie Edgar.
I mean, like, smart money is on Edgar, but it's like you don't count out Jeremy Stevens' power.
Oh, it'll be is that the main event of the
yeah,
prelims?
of the prelims.
That's a good fight.
It all depends on if Jeremy Stevens can touch Frankie Edgar's chin. Frankie can weather storms, but he has a suspect chin.
Sorry, I just imagined the middle of a fight. Touch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it all depends on if Jeremy Stevens can touch Edgar's chin, because Edgar can weather storms. He can't take a punch very well. So it'll be interesting to see. And then we go into the main card.
Is there a 6-fight main card for this one?
There is.
Yes.
Let's see here. We have Miesha Tate versus Raquel Pennington. I'm going to go with Raquel Pennington.
Going with Cupcake, Miesha Tate.
I will never choose Miesha Tate in any fight. Yeah, I'm very biased. I do not like Miesha Tate whatsoever. She is the fakest person ever. But yeah, no. I don't know much about Pennington, and if she can beat Tate, I'll be all the more happier. So that's my bias pick of the week. Then you have number 5 Kelvin Gastelum versus number 6 Donald Cerrone. And this could have some weight in the welterweight title picture. Cerrone's on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak already in the welterweight division.
Yeah, I'll go with Cowboy on this one.
I want to. I'm a huge Cowboy fan, but Gastelum is on another level right now. He still has work to do with his stand-up, but like his boxing's there, but it's the other stuff that he needs to work on. So it depends on if Kelvin can get him down to the ground. If it stays standing up, Cerrone in a heartbeat. But that one's kind of a toss-up for me. But I'm going to go Gastelum. Chris Weidman.
Weidman?
Yeah. Chris Weidman versus Yoel Romero.
I'm going Chris Weidman. Probably my favorite fight in the UFC is Chris Weidman, honestly.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking about, okay, so I was watching some YouTube videos last night, and I come to realize I've never really seen what other people see in Chris Weidman. I don't think Weidman is all that good, even though, like, he's beat Anderson Silva twice, but it's been like 2 flukish victories. He caught Anderson when Anderson was dancing around that first fight, and then Anderson just broke his leg the second fight. I don't know. I still like Chris Weidman in this fight.
I think Weidman goes back towards that title. Yeah,
Yoel Romero is excellent in his own right, but I mean he's coming off the suspension for steroids, I believe, and I still see Weidman in that fight. And then you have the women's strawweight title fight. Do you want to attempt their names?
We got Joanna versus, is it Carolina?
Carolina. You're not even going to try the last names, are you?
Their last names are actually crazy.
Yes, the Battle of Poland we got going on.
Here, we'll have Jesse type them out on here when he's editing the video.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
We have the Battle of Poland going on. 12-0. Joanna Jurjakic? Something
He's
like that.
He's going to try it.
Versus Carolina Kowalak. No.
Let me see it.
I'm not even going to try it.
It
It doesn't sound anything like what you think it sounds like.
Kowalkiewicz, I'd say,
Sure.
something like that.
But anyways, Joanna.
I'm going upset here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because these two fought as amateurs. They fought each other as amateurs.
They know each other. Joanna's just been dominating UFC.
Yeah.
Carolina was dominating the Polish scene. And Joanna actually told Dana to sign her. And she's walked through the division on her way to Joanna.
Yeah.
So I got upset here.
Yeah. I got Joanna. I still don't pay that much attention to the strawweight title. Or like that.
It'll be my first time seeing the Joanna fight, actually.
Yeah. If your name isn't Paige Van Zandt or Rose Namajunas, I really haven't heard much about you.
Carolina walked over.
Yeah. And then your co-main event of the evening, you have Tyron Woodley versus Stephen Thompson.
You going Wonder Boy?
I'm going Wonder Boy.
I'll go Woodley. He's going to keep the title.
I like Woodley's explosiveness, but after seeing a lot of Stephen Thompson, because I've never seen a Wonder Boy fight, but I've seen the highlights. I watched his highlights a few nights ago, and I see Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson coming out with the title. Woodley is explosive. He tends to gas out in later rounds. And I mean, you saw it against, I believe it was Nate Marquardt in Strikeforce. Got knocked out in the 4th round by Nate Marquardt, So I see Stephen, if he can take it into the later rounds, it's Stephen Thompson's fight to win. And then you have the main event, Eddie Alvarez defending his lightweight title against the featherweight champion Conor McGregor. How do you see this fight going?
Conor McGregor. He's
Yeah?
going to do it.
I love Conor McGregor.
Conor's honestly the reason I've really gotten into UFC.
Yeah.
He's
Which is so weird because he is not a fighter I would expect you to be a fan of.
he's so entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Because he backs it up.
Yeah.
That's why I love him, and he's just super funny. And I like Irish accents, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I love Conor McGregor also, but Eddie Alvarez is a world-class wrestler. And if there's one thing that Conor is not great at, it is defending takedowns.
I think he made great strides, though, in his second fight against Diaz. He was able to defend takedowns very well.
Right, but Diaz has also had sloppy takedowns. Historically.
Diaz is sloppy in general.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he's a UFC fighter.
He backs it up, though, man.
I mean, the only reason he's in the main event is because he was fighting Conor McGregor.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So I actually see Eddie Alvarez retaining his title here.
I think McGregor will catch him with a punch.
Yeah.
I think.
That could definitely happen also.
So I see McGregor winning and holding both titles, unless Dana forces him to drop one.
No, he's going to force him to drop one. Like he's already stated, Conor will be 2-division UFC champ for about an hour.
I would love. Could you imagine though if Conor was able to like go between weight classes and defend both of them?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
But I see Conor winning.
Yeah.
Because I think this weight's more natural for him.
Yeah. So I mean, there's our UFC picks. We're not really going to touch on the NBA. The season's still young. I think the main thing is Golden State really isn't looking like Golden State of last year.
It's because they're new and San Antonio's good again.
Yeah.
I think Warriors will be just fine. I think they're still a top team in the West.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna go into our new segment called Picks of the Week. Or sorry, what did I say earlier?
Oh, I already lost it. Projections.
Predictions of the week. So we got. I wrote down five
NFL games.
No, not NFL games. They're
Just
not
anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wrote down 5 games. We're each going to give our picks. And we're going to keep a record on how we do in end of the year. So what? We got about 6-7 weeks of this.
Yeah.
First one is going to be, we're just going to go straight into football. Sunday Night Football, Denver versus Oakland, battle for the lead in the AFC West.
Oakland.
I have Oakland too. I can't believe that we're both overlooking Denver's defense.
I think Derek Carr and that offense will do just fine.
Yeah. All right, so we both have Oakland for that. Then Monday Night Football, Buffalo Bills at the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks.
See, I'm going Bills.
Okay.
It's just like I said, I have Seahawks as my number 3 team in the NFL, but I mean, it's wide open right now. So you're going Seahawks, I'm going Buffalo.
Yep.
All right, and then jumping to the NBA, Thursday night, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant coming home for the first time.
It's at Golden State, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
sorry, I'm an idiot.
Russell Westbrook visiting his old Thunder buddy in Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I still think.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I still think Oracle Arena is going to be too much, and I have Golden State.
Yeah, I have Golden State too. How are the Thunder doing so far?
Oh, Russell Westbrook's. If you can give a MVP for first 3 games, it's Russell Westbrook.
Really?
First 3 games, he went for over 130 and 30.
Oh, great.
He's only the third time ever to do that, and the first 2 were Michael Jordan. So.
Jeez.
There you go.
All right. So we both have Golden State on that. Moving over to college football, we have number 9 Nebraska at number 6 Ohio State.
It's a good game in the Big Ten, but the horseshoe, I'm going to give it to Ohio State. I'm still not impressed with Nebraska.
Yeah. Nebraska's made great strides this year, but they are going into the horseshoe. I have Ohio State also.
Yep.
And then our final game, Game 6 tonight. Chicago Cubs at the Cleveland Indians. Can Cleveland close it out?
Go Cubs, go.
Oof. See, I'm going to go
Hey,
with...
Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win tonight. It's actually today, but it's tonight.
Yeah. I'm going Cleveland. I think Cleveland wraps it up. I think the Cubs will be back next year, but I just think that they're finally kind of running out of steam in my opinion.
I think they just regained their steam.
Listen. It's baseball. They play 160 games.
162 in the regular season, then plus
Yeah.
postseason.
Yeah, I mean you're bound to win one. But yeah, no, I think that Cleveland closes it out 4-2, takes that World Series, and then all we have to do is hope that the Browns win a game, and Cleveland's set for the rest of the year. So,
I think Cubs will win tonight, and I'll say Game 7 a complete toss-up.
oof.
Flip a coin, it'll land on the side, literally.
Right. So that does
Does
it.
it, yeah.
That does it for episode 2 of the halftime show.
Tell us what you think of our predictions.
Yes. Give us your predictions of the week.
Make sure you spell it projections. So
Yes.
you get
Yes. But again, you can follow me at Bruce Steres on Twitter. You can follow him at
T-Soper63.
Yes. We will be back next week to hopefully talk some NBA for you. Maybe get into some NHL action. The Wild are doing excellent right now.
Wrap up World Series.
Yeah, we'll give our thoughts on the World Series and baseball for this year.
Give our way too early predictions for next year.
Yeah.
And more college football and NFL.
Yeah, and then we will be 1 week closer to UFC 205.
That is the week next week.
So excited. But anyways, for Jesse Braceras, that's Tim Soper. We will see you next week. Let's take you back to the third quarter. Peace.